Part 40. After the wife of a wealthy family was read by her mind, the melon field was full of wild animals. Author, Yuze. Chapter 391. Ji-Fei was really dumbfounded when she saw this dramatic scene. What's going on? Qin Xiao's boyfriend's mother is calling Qin Jing a male fox for seducing her son? How many sons does she have? No, isn't Qin Jing's partner a woman? It can't really be a cross-dressing guy engaging in online photo fraud. Ji-Fei suppressed her gossip and quickly stepped forward to help. After all, Qin Jing was the type who would not be rude to women. Although his face was livid with anger at this moment, he could not do anything about the entangled shrew in front of him. Auntie, you got the wrong person, no. Did you misunderstand something? If it's your son Wenbai, I'm not familiar with him at all. And I'm not gay either. But Mother Wen's face was red with anger and her neck was thick. She was really furious and wanted to slap her. Seeing that she might succeed, Qin Jing could only slap her with her head, but the slap did not come off. A voice sounded. If you take the initiative to beat someone, no matter what the reason, regardless of gender, age, or sex, you will have to go to the police station to pay for it. Auntie, prepare the money before you beat him. Mother Wen looked at the woman holding her wrist in astonishment. It was Ji-Fei who had teased her before. You, mind your own business and hang out with such dirty things. You are not a good person either. Ji-Fei raised her eyebrows and said immediately, what you are doing now is considered a form of slander. Do you want to pay a fine? Ji-Fei guessed that Wen's mother cared about money the most, so she always talked about money. As expected, Wen's mother froze again. I'm not slandering. Do you have evidence? Take it out and take a look, Ji-Fei said directly. Mother Wen was speechless for a moment, completely explaining what unreasonable trouble is. Ji-Fei pulled her away directly and said to Qin Jing, is everything okay? Although the other party was his sister-in-law, Qin Jing was actually a little older than Ji-Fei. She was being protected at this moment and blushed in embarrassment. I'm fine. I don't know what happened. Did you get the wrong person? Did you get me and my sister confused? Qin Jing is really one head above the other. I can only think of this possibility, after all, because the twins look alike, and Qin Xiao also has short hair. If the photo is just a partial photo, it happens to be seen by this impulsive aunt, and then she sees Qin Jing in person, and then misunderstands her. It's not entirely impossible. The corner of Ji-Fei's mouth twitched, and he didn't know the aunt's name, so he couldn't know the truth. Qin Jing could barely make up the reason. While the two were talking, Wen's mother gradually calmed down, her eyes moving back and forth inquiringly. Qin Jing also said calmly, Auntie, your son is indeed dating my sister. If you don't believe it, wait until their game is over and bring your son to our private room to see for yourself. After saying that, Wen's mother seemed quite shocked, and then she didn't say anything and just stared at him. Qin Jing felt very unlucky and didn't want to go to the toilet, so she directly asked Ji-Fei to leave together. As a result, before leaving, Wen's mother added a few words unwillingly, hey, let me tell you, it is absolutely forbidden for men to have sex with men. It is something only perverts would do. If I find you seducing my son, I will never let you go. Qin Jing really wanted to turn around and curse, but his upbringing did not allow him to get entangled with such an old woman. What is this? Having said that, this aunt still doesn't believe it. Besides, what happened to her being gay? So disgusted? Such extremely homophobic people are really uncomfortable. You can disagree but don't insult them. Qin Jing was angry all the way back. When he returned to the private room, he gave his sister a big roll of his eyes to see what kind of family his sister had found. What's wrong? Going back and forth so fast? Is your kidney not working? Then you can't blame me. Qin Xiao was still joking. Ji-Fei laughed out loud and said, we are in trouble. Everyone suddenly became curious. Qin Jing angrily explained the situation just now. Qin Xiao was speechless immediately. Who is he? Who? Your boyfriend's mother may be your future mother-in-law, Qin Jing said angrily. Just because you look alike, you thought your son had been dating a man, and then you went crazy, Qin Chao said in disbelief. It's scary. It's even scarier to get along with such people. Qin Rong said quickly, don't say that, he is him, and his mother is his mother. It felt like the two brothers were eager to break up, and Qin Rong was worried that Qin Xiao would be sad. Qin Xiao was really a little sad, not because of their attitude of persuading them to break up, but because she was thinking about it herself. She really liked Wenbai and had considered getting married, but she didn't expect that his mother was such an indiscriminate person. For doing such impulsive and rude things, she felt that their auras were not compatible. After all, marriage is never a matter of two people. Qin Xiao is also hesitant. If it is really not suitable, then she can only fall in love and then separate. She has no confidence to overcome difficulties, and is not willing to embarrass her boyfriend and let him make a choice. She felt it was not good to do so. Well, actually Wenbai's family is a single-parent family. His parents have been separated for many years, and his father has been overseas all year round, so he has always been dependent on his mother. I used to think that if we were really together, I probably couldn't leave his mother alone. Although it's not, we will definitely live together, but close contact is definitely indispensable. Now, I am a little scared, Qin Xiao admitted honestly. This is Qin Xiao's life. Qin Xiao has her own opinions, so no one will say anything randomly. They just let her think clearly. After all, you can't deny a person just because his mother is not good enough to others. Maybe it's just this kind of widowed parenting that makes Wen's mother more sensitive. In the end, Qin Xiao probably wanted to see her a few more times before talking about it. After that, Qin Xiao also promised that the mother and son would make it clear later and apologize to her brother. Although she usually likes to quarrel with her brother, Qin Xiao still stood by her brother when she suffered such a thing. An apology is a must. It would be really funny if you guys also break up, Qin Jing said. Dad said that Master has calculated that the Qin family has bad luck in marriage and love during this period. Ji Fei also remembered what Qin Xian said and the sweetness of that night, and couldn't help but make love-related remarks. No, my husband and I are just fine. Everyone laughed directly. I discovered a pattern, Qin Chao said with a smile. When a couple has a man with a love mind and a woman with good character, they can definitely stay together until old age. For example, aunt and uncle, my dad and my mom. Also, there are 6 uncles and 6 aunts. Qin Jing and Qin Xiao immediately said, there are also our parents. Although the 4th aunt has passed away long ago, this was indeed the pattern when she was alive. If it weren't for the love brain, the 4th uncle would not have raised a pair of children alone because of his status. It is said that someone sent a substitute. He would get angry because he felt it was an insult to his lover. What about 5th aunt and uncle? Ji Fei asked curiously. They are very respectful to each other and feel like guests. They feel harmonious and harmonious. They are not sticky and inseparable. They are very exemplary. Otherwise, it would be because my uncle is away on business trips all year round and my aunt has been taking care of her son at home for a long time. It's because the places where my uncle goes to do business are not very safe. Because he loves his aunt, he doesn't take her with him. He lets her stay at home to support her husband and raise her children. But our Qin family also has some confidants there, so it's easy to tell whether my uncle is a loyal aunt or not. Everyone was chatting and gossiping among the elders, except of course the little aunt, Lu Mai He. Because they really don't know each other well and are not really relatives, so it's hard to say anything. Soon the game ended and Wenbai's team won. Qin Xiao's face was bright and she happily went to the stage to lay flowers. The two also hugged each other. Although it has not been made public, fans all know it, so the cheers are getting louder and louder. After all, Qin Xiao is not bad looking and is a rich woman. She lends a helping hand to Wenbei when he is in danger. To fans, that is a step up from the rich sister. Everyone in the private room laughed when they saw the close-up on the big screen. That love can be expressed from Wenbei's eyes. It seems that the two young people are still very sincere, but they have a worried mother. This time Ji Fei was even more curious about Wenbei himself. After the wife of a wealthy family was read by her mind, the melon field was full of wild animals. Author, Xuanhuan. Chapter 392. When the game started to end, Qin Xiao did not go with Wenbei, but told what happened in a concise manner. He also added, I feel that although my aunt is an elder, she still needs to express her regrets if she does something wrong, otherwise I won't be able to explain it to my family. At this time, Wenbei's still handsome face was completely red and green. My mother, is my mother crazy? How, why is this like this? It's probably the misunderstanding that leads to chaos because of concern. Qin Xiao saw Wenbei looking ashamed, and immediately breathed a sigh of relief. As long as her boyfriend still distinguishes right from wrong, there will be hope. I will definitely bring my mother to apologize. I'm really sorry, Wenbei said immediately. Qin Xiao then smiled and said, well, I'll go back and talk about it first. When this matter is over, we can celebrate together. Well, your brother is very angry, right? My mother said that about him and even attacked him. Does he blame me? Does he hate me very much? Wenbei asked nervously. Qin Xiao was amused. For her boyfriend to be so nervous about her family could only mean that this boyfriend cared about her. No, my brother is very nice and generous. All he needs to do is apologize, Qin Xiao said. A light flashed in Wenbei's eyes. Yes, your brother is a very nice person. So, will he come to the celebration party tonight? I'll toast him to apologize. Qin Xiao thought for a while. They are probably all interested in joining in the celebration banquet. If I ask everyone to come together, my brother will have to come too. Wenbei immediately said, okay. After Qin Xiao left, Wenbei went to find his mother. As soon as he entered the restroom and saw Wen's mother, Wenbei's face darkened. Mom, what have you done? Wen's mother wanted to get angry, but after thinking about it, she chose to swallow her anger and said, I saw a girl went up to give you flowers. I heard your team staff said that she is actually your girlfriend and your team's sponsor. Yeah. In fact, Wenbei had never told Wen's mother about his relationship with Qin Xiao, but now that he knew it, he had nothing to hide. He nodded directly and said, yes, she is my girlfriend, so why do you want to tell her brother that? Do you know how embarrassing this is for me? What? Difficulty? Isn't she your girlfriend? If she doesn't listen to you, what will she do to your team just because I said something about her brother? Mother Wen immediately glared. Wenbo rubbed his temples tiredly. Mom, can you change your temper? I'm really tired of you being like this. Mother Wen's eyes suddenly turned red. Your father dislikes me, do you dislike me too? Wenbo's expression changed instantly. That's enough. I use this as an argument every time. Anyway, you have caused trouble for me. I will take you there later and you go and apologize. Wen's mother immediately changed her face and said angrily, what? I am an elder, and they don't take the initiative to say hello. They also ask me to apologize. Is it really a big deal to have two bad guys? Our scholarly family. If it weren't for the too stinky money, why did you agree to me taking a leave of absence from school to play in the competition? Isn't it because the signing amount was very high? Wenbo disdainfully exposed his mother's hypocrisy. Normally, he would have the patience to deal with it, but at this moment I was so anxious that I didn't want to cooperate in the acting. Wenmu immediately started to play the magic again, but was directly interrupted by Wenbai. If you don't apologize, I will send someone to take you home, and I will apologize myself. Anyway, if you do something wrong, someone must take responsibility for it. This family is not an ordinary family. Just ask Chin Chin from Y City. Everyone knows that this is not a family position that you can suppress by relying on your old age and moral abduction, Wenbo said coldly. She seemed to realize that what her son said was true, but she couldn't go back. She had to stay and watch Wenbo. Okay, I understand, I will apologize, I misunderstood, Wen's mother said. The way Wenbo looked at his mother was actually a little suspicious and uncertain, but that was all he could do for now. Wenbai turned around and left, took out his cell phone and started typing. Wen's mother followed behind, looking at her son's back, hesitating to speak, but in the end she said nothing. After returning, Qin Xiao already explained the situation to everyone. Qin Jing was originally not interested in the celebration party. He had been sending photos of the scene to his girlfriend before, but she didn't respond. He was thinking about going back to have a video chat with his girlfriend in the evening. Although they seldom communicated via video and audio, they basically communicated through text, but he was getting more and more uneasy now and wanted to take a closer look and then give him some advice. As a result, I had just sent a message that I wanted to make a video appointment tonight, and the other party responded with a series of messages. They were thanking me for the previous photos, saying that I liked him very much, and that I was very happy to see him. Then he said that he missed him, and finally he replied again tonight. There is a party and I really don't have time. He also asked him if he had any other arrangements, as if he felt guilty about letting go. Qin Jing said that there was a celebration party in the evening and he was invited, but he wanted to do the video more, so he planned to refuse. But the other party actively recommended him to go and take more photos of the scene. Qin Jing could only express regret when he saw that he really couldn't get a date with his girlfriend. So after hearing Qin Xiao's invitation, Qin Jing actually had some thoughts of drinking. Qin Xiao was interested, but Qin Rong didn't care about looking at Jifei. Jifei thought it would be good to go somewhere to have a date with her husband for a drink in the evening, so she agreed to go together. Just as he was talking, someone knocked on the door, and everyone immediately fell silent, looked at each other, and straightened their postures as if meeting a relative. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After the wife of a wealthy family was read by her mind, the melon field was full of wild animals. Author, Yuze. Chapter 393. Wenbo came in with his mother. As soon as she came in, Wen's mother looked around and her eyes fell on Qin Xiao and Qin Jing. Her face was not good. As soon as Wenbo came in, he first quickly glanced at Qin Jing, and then stepped forward to Qin Xiao and said, "Xiao, I brought my mother to apologize. Mom, this is my girlfriend Qin Xiao, this is his brother Qin Jing. These are." Qin Xiao immediately introduced everyone, and everyone greeted with a smile except Jifei. It's just that Jifei was mixed in the crowd, so no one cared. "Mom, you misunderstood his brother before, you still have to apologize," Wenbo pushed his mother. Although Wen's mother was shy, she still stepped forward and said to Qin Jing, "I'm sorry, I misunderstood before, don't bother with me, an elder." Wenbo's face was unnatural, but he also cooperated and said sorry several times. Qin Jing was giving Qin Xiao a face. After all, it was uncomfortable for Wen's mother to apologize in an elder's manner, but it was understandable. Generally, elders were not willing to apologize to their juniors. Although Qin Xiao was uncomfortable, she endured it. After all, Wenbo did a good job. Wenbo quickly changed the subject, making people ignore the existence of Wen's mother. Wen's mother did not make a fuss anymore, but stood aside, but her eyes were still staring at the twins. Wenbo did not stay for long, because there were still team members to act together, so he said something to Qin Xiao and agreed to meet at the celebration banquet later. After everyone left, Qin Xiao also invited everyone to leave together. "How do you feel?" Qin Xiao asked everyone with a smile as she walked. Qin Jing said, "Except that Mom may make you unbearable, there is nothing else. But no one is perfect." Qin Chao and Qin Rong also had a good impression of Wenbo. They all agreed with Qin Jing's statement. Then he looked at Ji Fei. After all, sister-in-law had a cheat, and she was the most accurate in judging people. But at this time, Ji Fei's expression was extremely stiff, as if the actions they took were all conditioned reflexes, and his brain was drifting to who knows where. Qin Chao and Qin Rong thought it was not good. Could it be another scumbag? It was not until Qin Rong poked sister-in-law that Ji Fei came back to his senses and looked at the brother and sister walking together in front of him in astonishment. What a sin! This brother and sister are too miserable. What kind of shit happened to them? If I hadn't come today, how long would they have been deceived? Qin Chao and Qin Rong. There's really something going on. But the worst case is that he doesn't love Qin Xiao, but loves her money. This is not important to Qin Xiao. Or is there something wrong with his mother? So Wen's mother didn't make a mistake at all. She was looking for Qin Jing. She must have discovered it by accident. After all, there were photos of Qin Jing under Wenbo's pillow. Qin Chao. Qin Rong. Those photos were taken secretly. I took them because I could see Qin Jing once or twice when I met Qin Xiao. Qin Chao and Qin Rong. Wait, so that Wenbo is really gay? And he likes Qin Jing instead of Qin Xiao? He is pretending to be straight? Cheating Qin Xiao? The previous complaints really came true. Now I am curious about one thing. If Qin Jing knew that his soulmate was a fake Wenbo, would he still say that the soul is the most important? Qin Chao and Qin Rong stopped at the same time. They couldn't take a step forward. They stared at the two people in front of them with wide eyes. So, they are talking about the same person. Qin Chao and Qin Rong felt that they were mentally polluted. This melon is too exciting. Their brains are not enough. Wenbo is really a talent. He is obviously gay, but because of his mother's disgust, he hides it very deeply and dares not expose it. Not long after joining the team has problems. He met Qin Xiao. Because the other party's rich woman has the potential to spend money, he has to bow to the capital. He pretends to be straight and falls in love with Qin Xiao. He thought there would always be a chance to break up, but he ran into Qin Jing, who looks very similar to Qin Xiao, and he fell in love with Qin Jing at first sight. Qin Chao and Qin Rong's hair are about to fly. Is it so bloody? From then on, he got lovesick. He couldn't control himself and sent Qin Jing's chat software account from Qin Xiao, pretending to be a female account to add him as a friend. After testing that the other party is definitely heterosexual, he can only pretend to be a girl to communicate with him. In the end, he started an online romance. In order to have a chance to contact Qin Jing, he couldn't break up with Qin Xiao. He even thought, bah, what a sinister man, he even wanted to trick Qin Xiao into being a lesbian wife, so that he could be with his brother-in-law every day. Qin Chao and Qin Rong, bah, bah, bah. Back off, back off. Homosexuality is normal, but homosexuals cheating on marriage is so immoral. Qin Chao and Qin Rong, the kind of immorality that will make the ancestral graves explode. How can he think so beautifully? He took advantage of everything? I thought he looked at Xiao with love before, and he quickly used Xiao as a substitute for love. Qin Chao and Qin Rong, now that I think of it, I have goosebumps all over my body. Just now they thought Wenbo was good, but now they feel that their mouths are not clean. And they also remembered that Qin Jing mentioned Wenbo and said that he was flattering. They thought he was talking to his brother-in-law, but he didn't expect it to be to his sweetheart. Suddenly I feel so sympathetic to the brother and sister. They all gave their true hearts, but they were deceived in return, and it was the same person. Who can they go to for justice? What should I do when I know the truth later? Yes, how can I let them know? Most people will only tell their besties or brothers about cuckolding, but they will never encounter two people cuckolding each other. Double critical strike, will their family relationship bear such a blow? And Jifei was also worried. Expose it, it must be exposed, but how to expose it? Go to Wenbo's house to find photos, or steal Wenbo's mobile phone to find chat records, or catch him in the act. Let's not do this. I'm afraid Qin Jing and Qin Xiao can't stand it, and the worst thing is, I can't imagine what they will do after knowing the truth, especially Qin Jing, it's too scary. Qin Chao and Qin Rong also agreed. Just when they were worried, the three of them thought of the same thing at the same time, and they all picked up their phones silently. So Qin Xian, who was working, received different messages. Jifei, hubby, I encountered a strange thing today. Why do you say she is called Qin Jing Gong Fox? It's so strange, please help me think about it. Qin Chao and Qin Rong in the group, sister-in-law revealed a big news. Crack, crack. Second brother, come tonight and think of a solution. The small group of Qin Lao's family exploded instantly. Qin Xian. After the wife of a wealthy family was read by her mind, the melon field was full of wild animals. Author, Yuze. Chapter 394. The celebration banquet was arranged in a place similar to a bar, with buffet food, games, and competitions, and people performing and singing. It was not noisy, but it was quite lively. After all, this includes staff, team members, and their families, as well as people brought by sponsors like Qin Xiao. Wenbai told his mother to go out with other people's elders and not run around, so he went to find Qin Xiao and his party. Mother Wen was still worried and wanted to take a peek, but she couldn't help but think, maybe the brother and sister are playing tricks on my son, but they also control his fate, so I have to calm down, as long as that male fox doesn't seduce my son. My son will be fine. When Qin Xian came over, he saw an ant in the corner peering into the booth in the distance. Qin Xian passed by expressionlessly and walked over there. At this time, Jifei and the others were looking at the three people opposite them with expressions of disgust. Although Wenbai was sitting next to Qin Xiao, his eyes kept falling on Qin Jing next to him from time to time. However, both twins were sensitive people, so he didn't notice it at all. Occasionally, Wenbai crossed Qin Xiao and talked to Qin Jing, smiling. Haha, Qin Xiao leaned back cooperatively, and Qin Jing politely leaned in to listen. He didn't even notice that Wenbo's eyes were darting back and forth as if he were lost. Jifei and the three of them were holding their foreheads in their hearts. Why couldn't they find something? At this moment, Qin Xian came. Everyone said hello immediately. As soon as Wenbai heard about his identity, he stood up immediately, seeming to show great respect. Zaza, no matter how polite you are, you won't get any points, because you are already in a dead end. Qin Xian calmly listened to his wife's complaints, sat down and gently hugged Jifei, placing a kiss on his forehead. I don't know when I fell into the habit. No matter what the occasion, as long as the two of them meet again, Qin Xian will definitely come up and kiss him first. Jifei has become accustomed to this, but others still can't stand it. After all, Qin Xian's cold attitude towards others makes even his cousins cautious. Where are cousin and Jiexi? Jifei asked. There might be a good show tonight, how could you miss it? My cousin is composing music at home. He said that he doesn't have to accompany you so he has time to work quietly. Jiexi happened to be invited to participate in the activity by his classmates at school. Cousin aside, Jiexi has started to participate in activities. Has she made friends? Ji-Fei said excitedly. Qin Xian nodded and said, that's what they said when I went back. Ji-Fei expressed her relief, and then began to care about Qin Xian. Have you eaten? Qin Xian shook his head. Ji-Fei immediately held Qin Xian's face in distress. Don't let my handsome boy lose weight because of hunger. Then he actively took Qin Xian to get the meal. After returning, Ji-Fei's attention was immediately diverted by the situation on the other side. It seemed that Qin Jing wanted to get something to eat, but couldn't reach it. He was about to stand up, but Wenbai quickly picked it up with quick eyes and carried the whole plate over. Qin Jing didn't expect that the other party was so caring. He was so discerning that it made him feel uncomfortable. He immediately said, thank you. I am going. PFF, although it is immoral, I want to laugh. But he stopped laughing the next second. Wenbai kept looking for reasons to get Qin Xiao and Qin Jing drunk. I don't think he has the guts to do anything else, but while everyone is drunk and disregarding etiquette, cuddling and eating tofu is probably indispensable. Oh my god. Qin Chao and Qin Rong couldn't stand it anymore, especially because they were worried about Qin Jing. Don't really let a man eat you. Okay, I have already started to persuade you to drink, sometimes patting the back of the hand, sometimes patting the arm. This kind of contact is considered normal contact. If you don't eat the melon, no one will care. Ji-Fei could only help keep an eye on it. They were anxious, but Qin Xian ate calmly. After finishing the food picked by his wife slowly, Wenbai opposite had already started to ask Qin Xiao to get out of the way. Come, I'll drink with your brother, and you sit next to me. Qin Xiao really gave up his seat according to the atmosphere, and Wenbai just sat next to the person he longed for. With excited hearts and trembling hands, they were planning to put their arms around Qin Jing's shoulders. Qin Chao, Qin Rong, and Ji-Fei all planned to find excuses to interrupt. Then a cold voice was heard. Qin Jing, where is your girlfriend? Qin Xian suddenly spoke, startling the three people opposite him. In particular, Wenbo froze in his movements and immediately retracted, feeling guilty. Ah! Second brother, have you forgotten? I haven't officially met my girlfriend yet. How could I invite her over here? Qin Jing said. Qin Xian's eyebrows turned cold, as if he was very serious. We haven't met yet. We need to make arrangements as soon as possible. Grandma Lu has asked me today if I want to leave a place for your girlfriend. You have to confirm these in advance so that the family can arrange the reception. At first, Ji-Fei thought it was strange why Qin Xian suddenly asked this question so well. When he heard this, he immediately felt that the opportunity was just right. And Qin Chao and Qin Rong were already giving their second brother a thumbs up in their hearts. Awesome. And they had reasonable doubts that this was really what happened. The second brother would not leave any loopholes. He must have mentioned it to Grandma Lu and then guided Grandma Lu to speak out. Even if Qin Jing talks about it later, there will be no problem. Qin Jing nodded blankly, and then said helplessly, I feel that there is a high probability that she will not come. It is so difficult to meet me, let alone come to the birthday banquet. Ji-Fei and the others looked at Wenbai's expression across from them. They were very subtle and looked a little sad. He actually comforted himself that he went with Qin Xiao, which was equivalent to accompanying Qin Jing. If Qin Jing knew your identity, he would not want you to accompany him at all. Okay, don't pretend to be affectionate, it's annoying. Have you told her about the birthday party? Qin Xian continued. Qin Jing was stunned. Not yet, I plan to meet first. Qin Xian slowly lowered his eyes and said, maybe, with such an important invitation, she will be determined to see your message. Why don't you contact her now and ask her for her answer? Wenbo's face became unnatural after these words came out. Qin Chao immediately became interested and urged, you said that our family is here, and we all invite her together. Hurry up and contact her. Qin Jing was also moved. After all, his illusory girlfriend could still be valued by everyone, which was really touching. In addition, he drank too much and got excited. He immediately took out his mobile phone and started to contact. He sent a message, but it naturally fell into the sea. Qin Xian said directly, "Just call, you can't have no contact information after dating for so long." Ji Fei's heartbeat accelerated. Wenbo was holding on just now, but his face began to change, but he soon calmed down. Sure enough, although Qin Jing called impulsively, the phone belonging to Wenbo on the table did not respond at all. After the wife of a wealthy family was read by her mind, the melon field was full of wild animals. Author, Yu. Chapter 395. Hey, dual systems, dual cards, I've set it up, and I'm pretty good at playing it. Qin Jing was very frustrated when he heard the voice that never got through. After all, it was like this before. Calls were almost impossible to receive. It seemed that he could only receive messages and calls at a fixed time. Qin Xian suddenly said, "Give me the number and I'll ask the technicians to track it." For a moment, the wine glass in Wenbai's hand shook, and the wine splashed out. Qin Xiao was shocked by the impact, but what was even more frightening was what Qin Xian said. Qin Jing was also stunned. Huh? Qin Xian said seriously and coldly, "I very much doubt whether you have been deceived, so I want to help you find out who the other party is." Qin Jing's face suddenly turned ugly. Anyone who doubted his online dating partner would feel bad. Of course, there is another person with an even worse expression. Wenbai will definitely not doubt the strength of the Qin family and wants to check him every minute. He knew Qin Jing's character before, so he dared to keep pretending like this, but now it's dangerous. Ah! It's not good, Qin Jing said. Qin Xian analyzed, "She has been resisting meeting you. Either she has something to hide, or she is lying to you. No matter what the possibility is, there is no harm in you taking the initiative. Boys should be proactive when chasing girls." Qin Chao immediately agreed upon hearing this. "Yes, if she has any difficulties, if you know it, you can secretly become a prince and help her solve it. Wouldn't everyone be happy then? But if she is a liar, for example, she is not good looking." "I don't mind," Qin Jing said immediately. The corner of Qin Chao's mouth twitched. What if she is a married woman? What if she, is a man? Visible to the naked eye, Wenbai opposite was panicked and his face turned blue, but the light here couldn't tell. Qin Jing hurriedly said, "How is that possible?" Apparently he was more resistant to the possibility that the other person was a man than a married woman. "So let's try it secretly. If she gets angry then, it will be our brother's fault. We will apologize for you." Qin Chao immediately started to encourage again. Even though Wenbai said weakly, "This is not good, it doesn't respect the other party," but Qin Xiao on the side tried to persuade her brother. After all, she was also very curious about what the situation was like with that person. She never expected that that person would be by your side. Ji Fei could already imagine how anxious Wenbo was. But in the end, Qin Jing was still soft-hearted. He did not choose to directly give the number and let Qin Xian send someone to trace it. Instead, he said, "I will contact you again. If I can't get in touch, I will talk about it." As he said that, he wanted to call again. Wenbai immediately got up and found an excuse to go to the toilet. Seeing him panicking, Ji Fei and the others were really trying their best not to laugh. Soon, Qin Jing's call was connected. He immediately pressed the speakerphone excitedly, and a female voice came out from the other side. "The voice changer is quite advanced, I can't hear it at all." Ji Fei thought with admiration that Qin Chao and Qin Rong had the same idea. Seeing Qin Jing say a few words before being turned upside down by the other's voice and coquettishness, she really didn't notice. But Wenbo was really good, and Qin Jing almost hung up the phone with a few words of coaxing. Qin Xian knocked on the table to signal him to get down to business. Qin Jing mentioned the birthday banquet, and the other party was silent for a moment. He was probably too anxious to think of a reason. Finally, he said, "Actually, I've been in a bad mood recently because my mother is hospitalized. In addition to going to work, I have to go to the hospital to take care of her every day. I don't have the time or the mood to see you. I want to use the best way to see you. This is the first time we met in this state. It's really an unfortunate time. Can we make an appointment again after my mother is discharged from the hospital? Shit, does your mother know you are cursing her like this behind her back?" Qin Chao and Qin Rong were both speechless. Who is this person? His old mother is here. When Qin Jing heard this, he immediately asked worriedly about the situation. He had no doubts at all. No wonder he had been deceived by the internet for so long. Qin Jing comforted him for a while, and after repeatedly asking if he wanted help but being rejected, he finally hung up the phone. "No, do you really believe it?" "This looks like a sudden excuse," Qin Chao couldn't help but said immediately. "Ah, no one would joke about their mother's health for someone like Qin Jing, whose mother died young." She felt that this was even more impossible. Ji Fei said, "Don't doubt it, this is true. What you should consider is, if this is a lie, why would the other party rather tell this lie than see you? What is he hiding from you?" Qin Jing was dumbfounded. Qin Xiao had the same idea as his brother at first, but after hearing what everyone said, he couldn't help but said, "Brother, I think what everyone said makes sense." At this moment, Wen Bai came hurriedly. Ji Fei was sweating when she saw him running away. She was probably worried about the situation here, ha ha ha, then he would be even more worried. Sure enough, as soon as he sat down, he heard the discussion about whether he was lying or not. His whole body felt bad and he was simply restless. As a result, Qin Xian said again, "Qin Jing, please contact me again. You didn't say just now that our family has the best medical resources. If her mother is really sick, I think she wouldn't mind giving it to her. Mother provides the best medical opportunity." Wenbo broke into a cold sweat. Qin Jing patted his head and said, "Yes, I'll make a call right now." Wenbai immediately pretended to have left something behind and hurried away again. Qin Xiao looked at Wenbai's flustered back in confusion and murmured, "Why does it feel like he's a little absent-minded tonight?" And here, Ji Fei and the others were all laughing to death. Especially Ji Fei. She didn't know Qin Xian did it on purpose, she just thought it was a coincidence to the point of being funny. "You deserve it, I made you drink and want to take advantage of you, just to make you busy, ha 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 ha." Qin Chao and Qin Rong couldn't help but secretly give their eldest brother a thumbs up. And here, Qin Jing called twice before the other party answered. As soon as the call was connected, the other party's panting voice was clearly heard. Qin Jing asked in confusion, "What are you doing?" "Anxious, answer your call." Qin Jing's heart softened and he immediately told Qin Xian's proposal. The other party was silent for a moment, just when everyone was curious about what reason Wenbo would think of to stop all this. Wenbo suddenly got angry on the other end of the phone, and angrily asked Qin Jing if he didn't believe her, so he found all kinds of reasons to see her. She said she didn't want to for the time being, and she hated Qin Jing's way of doing things, and felt that Qin Jing's control was too strong, which she didn't like, and then she said noisily, "Let's not contact each other for the time being, it's good for everyone to calm down. This is like breaking up with the other party." Qin Jing was scared and apologized immediately, but the other party hung up the phone resolutely, and he couldn't get through again. Qin Jing was dumbfounded and looked at Qin Xian with grievance. Qin Xian. Being counterattacked. Window. Tabula equals window. Tabula. Tabula.push, mode, thumbs feed -01, container, tabula below article thumbnail -300 x 250, placement, Below article thumbnail -300x250, target. Type, mix. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After the wife of a wealthy family was read by her mind, the melon field was full of wild animals. Author, Xuanhuan. Chapter 396. This made Xuanhuan a little embarrassed, and he couldn't tell the truth directly, so he could only bear the slightly resentful look in his brother's eyes. But Qianchao still said, "It's even weirder to break up now. Qinjing, you really need to think clearly, this is too fake." Seeing how sad his brother was, Qin Xiao couldn't help but said, "Maybe he really has a lot of personality." Qianchao said, "I don't know if this is true or not. Why don't you ask your second brother to check it for you directly? If someone finds it, you can ask for reconciliation in person." Wenbo heard this sentence when he came back and was immediately frightened. Fortunately, Qin Jing said, "No, I still want to respect her. I am willing to wait. Even if I find out it is a scam in the future, at least I will respect our feelings in the process." "You're too stupid." Looking at Wenbai's relieved face, Qin Chao almost cursed. "Yes, I respect you," Qin Xian said directly. Qin Jing forced a smile and said, "It's my fault too. I wanted to get in touch with her too much. I should apologize to her. I don't know when she will forgive me." Wenbo instantly softened his heart and said, "I believe that as long as you sincerely apologize, she will definitely forgive you." "Mom, you still want Qin Jing to apologize, you are really good." Ji Fei really wanted to say a few words, but seeing how Qin Chao said nothing, there was nothing he could do. How about stealing his phone and finding a way to let Qin Jing and Qin Xiao see the truth? Qin Xian's eyes darkened at this time, and he was probably a little unhappy. He suddenly asked for Wenbai's contact information. Wenbo was a little surprised. Although he knew that the other party was asking for his normal number, he was flustered when such things happened one after another. "Recently, the Qin group has a game endorsement, and I think you are pretty good." When Qin Xian just spoke, the first person to explode was Ji Fei. "Ah, no, don't use this scumbag. If it is exposed by then, we will lose a lot of money." Although Qin Chao and Qin Rong were surprised, they felt that there must be a plan. Qin Xian was helpless. As he spoke, he hugged his wife and patted her on the back. "We may have to conduct an interview before deciding," Qin Xian moderated. Qin Xiao suddenly became excited, feeling that the second brother's opinion of her boyfriend was a certain degree of recognition. Before Wenbo could be surprised, he immediately encouraged Wenbo to give him his number. Wenbai reacted and felt that he had taken a step into the Qin family and would be closer to Qin Jing in the future, so he actively gave out his number. "I will ask the staff to contact you, and you can add me when the time comes." After Qin Xian finished speaking, he started to contact people. Ji Fei didn't pay attention to how he contacted her, but couldn't help biting her ears. "He can't do it, I don't like her." Qin Xian smiled and turned to bite his wife's ear. "It's okay. I'm just worried about the person my family is dating. Please help me check." Ji Fei immediately kissed Qin Xian on the face with a smile on his face. What a steady brother. When he was called brother, Qin Xian's body went numb, his eyes darkened, and he turned around and kissed Ji Fei. Ji Fei was distractedly thinking, "Hey, if something is found, wouldn't it be a matter of course, hopefully soon." Qin Xian was dissatisfied and bit Ji Fei's lip gently again, making the people at the table stop looking. Soon Wenbo received the message. Someone added him, explained the situation in a decent manner, and then sent him a contract link to let him know about it first. Wenbo clicked his hand quickly. It was too long. He didn't take a closer look. The other party said that he didn't have time at night and would talk in detail tomorrow. After Wenbo understood the contract, Wenbo immediately felt that it was inappropriate to read the contract in front of Qin Xian, so he immediately said that we would talk about it tomorrow, and then left it alone. Little did he know that his phone had been hacked. Qin Xian received the message and could switch the system and chat interface at any time in the background. The only thing left is to choose the time. It is best to let Qin Jing and Qin Xiao see it together, kill him with one blow, and not give the other party a chance to hide his reaction. At this time, the team leader began to invite team members to come up and speak. Qin Xiao was very happy to see her boyfriend's radiant appearance. Qin Jing, on the other hand, was depressed while looking at his cell phone. At this time, there was another interaction on the stage, and they had to play 2 random games. Let the guests in the audience choose any team members to fight against. Qin Xiao asked everyone if they wanted to play. If Jifei wants to show his skills on the big screen, then forget it. Qin Xian suddenly said, Qin Chao wants to play. Qin Chao was stunned. With a look from Qin Xian, Qin Chao immediately understood and stood up and said, then I will definitely challenge Wenbai. Qin Xiao smiled and said, then you wait to be hit. Qin Chao smiled slightly, that's not necessarily the case. Although I don't know what the second brother is going to do, I always feel that Wenbo is going to be doomed. They all played with their mobile phones, and soon the mobile phone battle screen was projected on the big screen. Everyone else was watching, including Wen Mu, whether they could understand it or not. But Qin Jing had no thoughts and kept sending messages and calling to beg for forgiveness. Just when Wenbo handsomely took down another head, the audience was bursting into applause, and suddenly a message popped up. A piece of text popped up on the screen. Baby, I was really wrong. You know I really like you. It doesn't matter even if I can't meet you in person. I can wait slowly, but I sincerely invite you to the birthday party. My sister is bringing her boyfriend. I'm just a pity person, right? That's why I'm a little anxious. The moment this sentence appeared, the noisy place immediately fell silent, and everyone stared at the message blankly. And Wenbo's brain went blank for a moment, and he swiped up reflexively to make the message disappear. But it was too late. Qin Jing didn't notice it, but Qin Xiao kept watching it. She saw it clearly, and it was because she saw it too clearly that his brain short-circuited at this moment. What is that? Does that mean, what she understands? It can't be such a coincidence. Could it be that the same thing happened to other people in other places at the same time? But it happened to be sent to Wenbo's mobile phone. Even if it was really incredible, Qin Xiao didn't dare to deceive herself. Just when Wenbo was deceiving himself and wanted to pretend that it didn't happen, he continued to operate and kill the motionless opponent. Qin Xiao rushed to the stage and snatched his mobile phone. Don't do it, Xiao, Wenbo wanted to snatch it back. But he was stopped by Qin Chao, who came behind him at some point. The people in the audience were also crazy. They knew that Qin Xiao and Wenbo were dating, and the message just now was obviously not sent by Qin Xiao. So the captain of their team cheated? It was too unethical to date a rich woman and enjoy her help while cheating. Obviously, they didn't expect that something more explosive was about to happen. Window. Tabula equals window. Tabula. Tabula.push, mode, thumbspeed -01, container, tabula below article thumbnail -300x250, placement, below article thumbnail -300x250, target. Type, mix. After the wife of a wealthy family was read by her mind, the melon field was full of wild animals. Author, Yuze. Chapter 397. Jifei was dumbfounded, thinking that this was the end of the night, but unexpectedly, there was a big turn. So you just answered the phone in a hurry and made a mistake, so unlucky. No, it should be called retribution. Qin Rong on the side naturally knew what was going on, and immediately looked at her second brother with admiration. Qin Xian looked at Qin Jing with a calm face. Because Qin Xiao moved too much just now, Qin Jing naturally reacted. When he came back to his senses and looked over, the message he just sent was no longer on the big screen. What are you doing, Xiao Yu? Why does it seem like there's a conflict? Qin Jing stood up and prepared to walk over. Mother Wen, who had been peeping in the dark, came over anxiously. What are you doing? Let go of my son. At this time, Qin Xiao's fingers were very fast. Her brain seemed not to be thinking about anything, but her heart seemed to be corroded by sulfuric acid, which was heartbreaking. She was indeed mentally prepared for what would happen if Wenbo only loved her money, but she couldn't stand that her boyfriend had been lying to her. And maybe even her brother. The mobile phone screen was displayed on the big screen, and the conversation interface suddenly popped up. At first, everyone didn't react and just thought it was evidence of cheating. But when I looked at it, I felt something was wrong. After all, the avatar that I replied with from Wenbei's mobile phone turned out to be a cute avatar of a girl, and the tone of voice and the words used. The other person is obviously a boy. There is a nickname marked on the dialog box, Qin Jing. Another one named Qin, and I seem to have heard of him somewhere. Just when everyone was thinking about it, a thin figure suddenly rushed to the stage, snatched the mobile phone from Qin Xiao's hand, and kept looking through the chat history. Then he took out his cell phone and dialed. The next second, the cell phone he grabbed rang. At this moment, everyone was dumbfounded. The scenes just now seemed to prove one thing. It seems that the person Wenbo pretends to be secretly contacting is his girlfriend's brother. The next second, Qin Jing grabbed Wenbei's collar fiercely. What's going on? Why you? You are Xiaobai? You. Qin Jing was so stimulated that he couldn't breathe. At this time, Wenbei's face was already pale and bloodless. He had never thought of being exposed in such a way, and he was suddenly stunned. But when facing the person he likes, he still chooses to explain immediately. Qin Jing, I'm sorry, Qin Jing didn't need to talk nonsense and punched him directly. Qin Chao quickly stepped aside. Qin Xiao's eyes were red with anger. She couldn't help it anymore and rushed forward to kick someone. Damn it, can you play with us brothers and sisters? When Mother Wen saw her son being beaten, she immediately rushed forward fiercely and pushed Qin Jing and Qin Xiao away. Don't touch my son, what are you going to do? Hey, aunt, are you really stupid or pretending to be stupid? I can't tell that your good son is defrauding women of money while pretending to be women to deceive men's feelings. Qin Chao concluded. He also deceived a pair of brothers and sisters. You are really good at playing. Wenbai was covered in injuries now, and he was too timid to face the current situation. Wenbai, I'm not kind to you. How could you do this to me and my brother? You deserve to die, Qin Xiao roared. Qin Jing was also so angry that he was shaking all over and could not even stand. Just now he was angry with his girlfriend and humbly asked for reconciliation, but now he told him that his soulmate turned out to be such a person. In fact, if he was just a man whom no one knew, Qin Jing would not be so angry. Maybe he could not accept the man and would feel the anger of being deceived, but he would not be as eager to beat this man to death as he is now. How could he be so shameless, hanging on to his sister and dating him online at the same time? He didn't dare to think about the disgusting things that he and his sister had experienced. What's your purpose? What's your purpose? Qin Jing even began to wonder if it was a commercial spy who came here to disrupt their brother and sister. Although they were both lovelorn, the other Qin family members were relieved to see the brother and sister speaking out in unison. People around him have begun to talk about it. After all, this incident is so exciting. Wenbai is also a star player and has a good reputation. How could such a thing happen? I thought it was strange before. When Wenbo was with us, he never talked about his girlfriend. We thought he only liked her because of money, so we didn't want to discuss it. but we didn't expect that he didn't like her at all. I've fallen in love with my brother. Having said that, I remembered that Wenbo was initially lukewarm towards Mr. Qin, but ever since Mr. Qin's brother came to pick him up, Wenbo became enthusiastic after they met. Wenbai is interested in Mr. Qin's money, and he also likes Mr. Qin's brother. It's really a double kill. So, our captain is gay. It must be true. If you look at people online dating, they don't care about anything. They only focus on companionship. That's where they are sincere. The gossip finally hurt Wen's mother's heart. As if she was stimulated, she started hugging her son and yelling, "Don't talk nonsense. How could my son be such a pervert? My son is very normal. He likes girls. These siblings must be playing tricks on my son because of their wealth and power." As soon as she finished speaking, Wenbo, who was hugged by him, suddenly stiffened. And, even if you want to confuse right and wrong, you should find a reason to support it. Here is the clear evidence. Both parties are kept in the dark. Who is playing with whom? Qin Chao mocked. No, no, it's you. Wen's mother immediately pointed at Qin Jing and said, "You must be shameless and seduced my son. My son is normal. If you didn't seduce him and lied with a face like your sister, my son would never. It's your son who lied to me. I like women. He pretended to be a woman and lied to me," Qin Jing roared unbearably. "If you think liking men is abnormal, then you are just scolding your own son, and it has nothing to do with my brother." Qin Xiao immediately protected her brother and said, "My brother was deceived by a man, and he didn't think it was unlucky." Wen's mother couldn't control her emotions anymore, and tears kept falling. "No, it must be a conspiracy, no. Son, tell me, you don't like men, tell me." Wen's mother suddenly grabbed Wenbo's shoulders and shook him wildly, as if forcing him to swear to the sky. In fact, Wenbo had thought of various explanations in his mind, such as it was just a prank, or he just wanted to know more about his girlfriend's family, but they were all very far-fetched. After all, his account was indeed in an online relationship with Qin Jing, and no matter how he defended himself, it was useless. Listening to the discussions around him, he also realized that his career was probably over, not only because of the discriminatory eyes of the people around him, but also because Qin Xiao would not be stupid enough to sponsor him again, and even offended the brother and sister, and he might be banned for revenge. Facing the aggressive mother again, he was really tired. As if he had untied the shackles, he pushed Wen's mother away, climbed up with difficulty, and said to Qin Jing, "Everything else is a lie, but I am sincere to you. I really like you." Choosing to confess at this time, this scumbag is also a warrior. He shouldn't think that he is very affectionate. After the wife of a wealthy family was read by her mind, the melon field was full of wild animals. Author, Yuze. Chapter 398. Qin Jing didn't feel affectionate, he just felt goosebumps all over his body. After all, this man was holding hands with his sister just now. Now that he confessed his love to him, even if he knew that it was his online relationship, he was disgusted at this moment. He gritted his teeth and cracked his fists. Wenbai said to Qin Xiao, "I'm sorry Xiao, but, you don't care whether I like you anyway, don't you just want to be my girlfriend? So I just, let myself love others." Qin Xiao laughed out loud in anger, "You really think you are wronged? I have to be grateful to you for giving me a chance. If my aunt had known that you were gay, I wouldn't have looked for you at all. Even if you don't like it now, things like relationships can be cultivated slowly, but if they are not on the same channel as you at all, then who would do useless work? It is a natural orientation, and it is not caused by metal or stone. It can be straightened." Wenbo was also embarrassed by what he said, especially when he saw the brother and sister looking at him with hatred. He couldn't help but feel aggrieved and said, "It's my fault that I lied to you, but you two said you loved him before." I want to take him to the family birthday party, but now. Seeing Wenbai's rebuttal, Qin Jing and Qin Xiao almost laughed angrily at the same time. However, some team members came forward to persuade Wenbai to stop talking. They did not dare to offend Qin Xiao. And Wen's mother was completely crazy when she heard her son say these things. She jumped up, grabbed Wenbo, opened her tiger eyes, and said fiercely, "What are you talking about? What are you talking about? How could you like? That's enough, I like men, do you understand? I like men." Wenbo finally lost control and yelled at his mother. As a result, Mother Wen slapped her so hard that she fell down again. "You are sick and you need to be treated. You are sick just like your father. They are both perverts." Mother Wen was trembling all over and her eyes were dull. "But it doesn't matter. Mom will take you to be cured, you will be back to normal soon." After saying that, he went to help Wenbei nervously. There was an uproar around him, so Wenbai's father was also the same. But she also had Wenbo with Wen's mother, so wouldn't it be that Wen's mother was deceived? No wonder she is so homophobic. Everyone couldn't help but begin to sympathize with this woman. But Wenbai pushed his mother away angrily. "It's not enough for you to destroy my dad. Do you still want to destroy me? My dad can't forgive you, but he has tried his best to make up for it. He has been gone for so long, you won't let go of my dad, and you won't let me go, too." Wen's mother looked at Wenbai with a sad and desperate look. And everyone around them felt that what Wenbai said was wrong. After all, Wen's mother was the victim of this incident. Although she seems like a shrew now, she was forced to do so. So that's it. When Wen's father married Wen's mother, he didn't know his own orientation at all. There was very little information about this at that time, so he just married and had children according to the rules. Although he was quite resistant to marital affairs, he just thought that everyone was different. He worked hard to support his family and took care of the mother and son with all his heart. But then he met a man and discovered his orientation. He originally thought about hiding it, but decided not to delay Wenmu's life. Just tell him honestly, ask for forgiveness, and promise to leave the house cleanly, leaving everything to Wen's mother. Qin Chao and Qin Rong didn't expect to be able to enjoy the melon within a melon. Just now, they felt that although Wen's mother was domineering and unreasonable, it was quite pitiful to be cheated into a marriage. But after hearing the reason, they suddenly felt that everything was helpless. But this news was devastating to Wen's mother. Both of their ancestors came from scholarly families, so they were extremely traditional and believed that same-sex behavior was against their ancestors. She loved Wenfu very much, and Wenfu's gentle care for her was something that could be shown off in her circle of friends. Everyone envied her for having a good husband and a good son, a perfect life. She couldn't accept such a gap and wanted to use every possible means to prevent Father Wen from leaving. Qin Chao and Qin Rong remembered what Qin Xiao had said before, saying that Wenbai's father had left. Wen's father was trying to reason with her for her own good, but she didn't believe it in the end. In order to stop Wen's father, she told her parents the secret. The older generation flaunted their scholarly family status and would never allow this. When things happened, they discussed and sent Wen's father to a mental hospital and locked him up. That kind of irregular mental hospital almost tortured people crazy. In the end, the man they met at the beginning rescued Wen's father, directly took Wen's father out of the country, and only then lost contact. Qin Chao and Qin Rong were shocked. They couldn't imagine what kind of hell it would be for a normal person to be imprisoned in an irregular mental hospital to treat his homosexuality. Moreover, he was sent to it by his close relatives. Wenbo has been watching these things, so they left a lot of shadows. After his father left, his mother became a little obsessed. She cursed those homosexuals every day and kept a strict eye on her son, for fear that he would make a wrong step. As a result, Wenbo was also afraid of himself being treated like this by my family. I kept denying myself and even tried hard to get a girlfriend to straighten myself out. Otherwise, Wen's mother would not have chosen to let Wenbai work in a place full of men, because Wen's father had squandered all the money left by him. After all, in her opinion, homosexuality was a disease, and her son was not sick, so it didn't matter. When Qin Chao and Qin Rong heard this, they could only say that it was because of one family, and there were quite a few people involved. Others didn't know the truth behind it as easily as they did. Of course, their focus was not on this, but that their captain not only cheated but also came out. It was really shocking. Wen's mother tried to persuade Wenbo. But Wenbo yelled, "If you hadn't been forcing me, I could be myself openly. This era is different from my father's time. I can be myself, I can choose the boy I like to date. It's all because of you who forced me. You made me afraid and uneasy, otherwise, I wouldn't have fallen to the point of cheating on them and forcing myself. All this is your fault." You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After the wife of a wealthy family was read by her mind, the melon field was full of wild animals. Author, Yuze. Chapter 399. After yelling, Wenbai felt as if all his strength had been taken away from him. For a child like him who grew up with his mother, it was really mentally exhausting to resist his mother. If it weren't for today's excitement, he probably wouldn't be able to do it in his life. But now that he was talking about it, he felt confused again. Wen's mother was completely stunned. Finally she couldn't hold on any longer and collapsed to the ground. She started crying and cursing Wenbo. Wenbai was so tired that he didn't want to care anymore. He turned to look at Qin Zheng. Qin Xiao stepped forward to block his view. "Don't contact us again in the future, otherwise don't blame us for using extraordinary means." After saying that, he took his brother and left. Qin Chao also came down and picked everyone up to leave this noisy place. But Wenbai didn't give up and ran up to her. He really liked Qin Zheng. "You can really like me even if you don't meet anyone. Doesn't that mean you like my soul? Why do you regret it when you see the real me? I don't have real feelings for your sister, but I have real feelings for you. Do you really not give me any chance?" Qin Jing was instantly furious and punched her again. "Shut up. Just because you pretended to be a man and lied to my sister, I could beat you to death. You are still wandering between us. Who do you think you are?" Qin Xiao's chest heaved with anger at Wenbai's unreal words. She had experienced this, but Wenbai didn't. "I can't help it, I really can't help it. I admit that I have done a lot of wrong things, but am I born gay and don't deserve true love?" Wenbo continued to struggle. "You're such a fool, you used falsehoods in exchange for true feelings. How dare you think about it? Scammers will have to worship you as their teacher," Qin Chao angrily reprimanded. "How do you understand me? My life is a tragedy. If I want to love, I dare not love. If I want to hate, no one will hate me." Wenbo struggled. "Ji Fei also thinks Wenbai is ridiculous. Half of the tragedy in your life is due to your mother, but the other half is the result of your own choices. Stop pretending to be affectionate here. How about I guess what you would have done if today's incident had not been exposed?" Wenbai was stunned, and the others didn't understand why Ji Fei suddenly said this. Ji Fei smiled and said, "You will not break up with Qin Xiao, because you need her money to continue supporting the team, and you need her to be your bridge to get closer to Qin Jing, but you know that Qin Jing will not accept boys, otherwise you won't always dare to reveal your identity, so the only way for you to stay with the person you like is to marry Qin Xiao and get along with Qin Jing as relatives, just like tonight. On the surface, you accompany your girlfriend, but in fact, you secretly find various friends. If you get closer to Qin Jing in this way, you will be able to satisfy your own selfish desires." As Ji Fei said it, Wenbai's face became more and more frightened, because Ji Fei had completely guessed it right. Qin Jing and Qin Xiao's faces became increasingly uglier, uglier than they had swallowed countless flies. The look he looked at Wenbai was even more like a knife. Ji-fei really looked down on Wenbo. Unlike his father didn't know his situation at first. After he understood it, he resolutely left his mother. This can be regarded as a way of returning to the lost track, stopping losses in time, and knowing his mistakes and correcting them. However, he knew clearly what his situation was. However, he just wants to deceive people, and he deceives two people at once. What does he want to do? Isn't it just to enjoy the blessings of others, to have a so-called reputation, and to be next to the person he likes? Qin Chao and Qin Rong both felt that Ji-fei was right. It's really shameless for such people to dare to show up now. It's your problem that you have difficulties. Why should others pay for your difficulties? Now Qin Xiao stepped forward and kicked Wenbai away. Wenbai didn't dare to resist and stood there blankly. Qin Xiao and Qin Jing left without looking sideways again. Looking at him anymore would be pollution. It was not easy to complain about this kind of thing in front of two people, so the group returned to the old house quietly. Qin Xiao and Qin Jing both returned to the house. Originally, fourth Uncle Qin wanted to come to question them because Qin Xian's move led Grandma Lu to go to fourth Uncle Qin to tell him to confirm the list of participants quickly, so fourth Uncle Qin planned to urge the two children to bring their partners. What's wrong with them? Didn't they see me? Fourth Uncle Qin came from the side, and just as he was about to wave, the two of them disappeared. The other young people of the Qin family were all in the hall. After hearing this, they looked curiously at the group of people who came back. They went out well. Why did they come back as if they had lost their souls? Among them, Qin Yan was probably the only one who looked embarrassed. After all, she still had a small gossip group to read the latest news. I'm in a bad mood, Qin Xian said. Ah? What's going on? Aren't you going to watch your boyfriend's game? Did Xiao quarrel with her boyfriend? I still need to confirm with them whether their partner is coming, fourth Uncle Qin said helplessly. Qin Kaidao, to put it simply, what happened to the two of them tonight was quite bizarre. Anyway, they didn't say it was confidential, so I just told them. The others were left speechless by his treacherous statement and began to urge him one after another. One was almost deceived into becoming a co-wife, and the other was deceived into having a relationship disguised as a man. Special reminder, the perpetrators are all the same person. It has to be said that Qin Chao knows how to break news. This shocking statement requires people to go through a roundabout way to understand it. So everyone has a blank look on their faces at this moment. Until fourth Uncle Qin couldn't stand still, he was helped by Qin Xian, who was quick-sighted and quick-witted, and sat on the sofa. Not long after, I heard fourth Uncle Qin, who had always had a good temper, swearing, "Damn it, how dare you hurt my children!" He rushed upstairs. Qin Yi, who had come to his senses, translated it in disbelief. So the boyfriend that Qin Xiao spent money on pretended to be a woman and had an online romance with Qin Zheng. Everyone nodded. Qin Wenqiang, it was revealed tonight. Everyone continued to nod. Then Qin Chao and Qin Rong described the excitement of tonight. Qin Jiaxi trembled and hurriedly drank tea to calm herself down. It was too unbelievable. Everyone was stunned by the melon. The next day, they looked at the twins carefully, but there was nothing abnormal about the two except staring at their red and swollen eyes. It was just a bloody lesson in the history of love for the twins. Qin Sishu was angry and wanted to find Wenbo to settle the account, but was stopped by Qin Xiao and Qin Jing, who felt that there was no need to entangle. Qin Jing blocked all contact information, deleted all records, and Qin Xiao directly withdrew his investment. Although they did not ban Wenbo openly. But what happened that night will definitely not be covered up. Wenbo's actions violated morality, so he would naturally be pulled out as a typical punishment, and finally be suspended for a period of time. Originally, according to his age, he was about to retire with honor, but this time it ended in a dismal way, and there was no follow-up cooperation, No need to think about coaching, live broadcasting, and sparring. Even if he did not cooperate with Qin's, everyone tacitly agreed that they dared not offend Qin for a scumbag, so Wenbo could only disappear from this circle in disgrace. How he would have conflicts with his family later was no longer a matter for Ji-Fei to care about. It was just a small episode. There was no need to tell other elders about this little thing, otherwise the old man would have to go to worship again. But what the master said seemed to be continuing. I was playing in the old house that day, and I heard that something happened in the main building. The kind-hearted old man was angry and was furious. The younger generation did not dare to approach until someone came and told them that something happened to the fifth aunt. The couple came back this time to go through the divorce procedure, and Qin Wogu informed her family in advance. Someone shouted, "Oh my God, another person is getting divorced." After the wife of a wealthy family was read by her mind, the melon field was full of wild animals. Author, Xuanhuan. Chapter 400. Although the previous divorces were because Ji-Fei discovered the truth, this divorce has nothing to do with Ji-Fei. She is just a pure bystander. Sure enough, there is something wrong with the Qin family's feng shui. This time, Ji-Fei obediently watched the bystander by the side. Because he did not see the two, he had no idea what happened. Qin's father, Qin's mother, and two uncles were a little angry. Zhao Jianghe, this guy, I used to think he was a decent man. Before he married Wu Mei, he was chaste and had no interest in women. Now, he wants to divorce Wu Mei for someone else. Wu Mei has always managed the family in an orderly manner and helped him with the logistics work in the rear in his career. How could he be so blinded by greed and fall in love with another woman? Who knows? Wu Mei didn't explain clearly. Wait until they come back to interrogate her. What about the Zhao family? What's their attitude? The Zhao family knows that they are in the wrong and hope that the two will not divorce, but they don't mean to drive away the other woman. This is their family tradition. The red flag is flying at home and the colorful flags are flying outside. They let Wu Mei continue to be the eldest lady of the Zhao family, but that woman just wants to let go. At the place where Zhao Jianghe works. Ji-Fei frowned when she heard it. Qin Xian noticed it and explained to Ji-Fei softly, the main business of the Zhao family is in third-world countries. After marrying Zhao Jianghe, Wu Gu moved to the most prosperous and wealthy country on that continent and lived with the Zhao family. But the business that Zhao Jianghe wants to do requires long-term stationing in another dangerous country. He may only come back for 2 or 3 days a month to escort goods. I understand. Wanting Wu Gu to be a wealthy sign at home is in line with their Zhao family's status, but they are also willing to help their son who works hard outside to have a caring and intimate beauty to accompany him, so they think Wu Gu does not need to divorce. It's a pity that the women raised by the Qin family probably can't play the routine of the wealthy family. The husband and wife can only play their own games, so they can only divorce. But it seems that Zhao Jianghe is not opposed to divorce. Although cheating is hateful, if he stops the loss in time, it will be the best choice for Wu Gu. It's not clean if you change your heart. It's a waste of Wu Gu's life to continue to maintain it. Qin's father and mother were originally indignant, but after hearing Ji-Fei's mumbling, they suddenly felt that seeing a person clearly in time and turning around early might not be such a bad thing. Now that I have calmed down, I just want to fight for more benefits for my fifth sister. It's impossible to lose people and have no money. After all, the other party cheated first. The information we know is limited, so although everyone is very angry, there is nothing to discuss in the end, so we can only wait until tomorrow to pick up the person. The next day, Ji-Fei got up very early. Qin Xian, who didn't go to the company to deal with things because he had to meet relatives, had a rare chance to hug his wife for a while to wake up, but he felt that his wife was going to get up. What's wrong? Get up so early. I have to prepare early, the fifth aunt and the others are coming, Ji-Fei said excitedly. Qin Xian said with a smile, don't be too excited when eating melons. After all, it's the fifth aunt who is getting divorced. She actually has Zhao Jianghe in her heart. After all, the couple has been together for 20 years and they have been in love. Ji Fei was stunned and smiled simply. Tisk, there's nothing good about Wu Gu's gossip, it's just that a man fell in love with another woman, cheated on his wife, and then divorced his wife. It's the same old story, nothing new. I guess there's no explosive news to gossip about. I'm actually excited because I can immediately judge whether Wu Gu's family has any problems, not for eating gossip. Qin Xian was stunned, and his heart swelled uncontrollably. The look he had when he looked at Ji Fei had changed. When Ji Fei was about to get up, Qin Xian pulled her back into his arms. When Ji Fei's cheek touched the firm abdominal muscles, she felt soft all over, and took the opportunity to take a bite. Unexpectedly, Qin Xian would not let her get off the bed after a while. The two of them tossed around for a while, blushing and heart beating, and only the two of them were left in the room, breathing slowly. And when they went downstairs, they were almost late, and the other person's car had already driven into the gate. Ji Fei calmly sat down and accepted everyone's attention. It takes 5 minutes to drive from the gate anyway, so there's no rush. Everyone seemed to be laughing, saying that this couple might be able to overcome the recent disaster of the Qin family. Only they were sweet. Qin Xian went to get breakfast for Ji Fei. When others rushed to the square to watch, Qin Xian also forced Ji Fei to finish breakfast first. Will it be impolite for us to do this? It will probably clash for a while. Qin Xian slowly helped Ji Fei pour the milk, and sure enough, there was a noise outside. It didn't stop until the two of them finished breakfast. Ji Fei gave Qin Xian a thumbs up. You are so accurate. My father, the third uncle and the fourth uncle are very protective of the fifth aunt. After all, she is my sister. The implication is that it is impossible to greet each other in a friendly manner when they meet. They must quarrel and fight before entering the main building. Let's go. Qin Xian took Ji Fei to the main building. Met Qin Yi halfway. You two are so leisurely. It was really scary just now. It's the first time I saw several uncles fighting. Qin Yi wiped the sweat off his face. How is it? Qin Xian asked. Qin Yi briefly explained what happened just now. Zhao Jianghe was not injured, but someone else was injured by mistake, and it was a woman. It's embarrassing. Qin Yi shook his head and said, just send her to the guest room to rest and relax. What? Ji Fei was surprised and said, woman. That's not right. Doesn't fifth aunt have only one son? Where did she come from? Speaking of this, Ji Fei covered her mouth and looked at Qin Yi in astonishment, saying, did she bring him here? Qin Yi thought Ji Fei had misunderstood. No, that woman is my aunt's best friend over there, and they have a very good relationship. Her name is Lu Yunqing, and she almost became Zhao Qingle's godmother. Ji Fei immediately grinned. What? Qin Xian said with a smile. No. Now when I hear words like raise and do, I am not used to it. Everyone also remembered the last person who almost became an adopted daughter, which was indeed not easy to adapt to. This should be no problem. It is said that he has been persuading the two not to divorce, and he has always spoken for his aunt. Window. Tabula equals window. Tabula. Tabula.push, mode, thumbs feed -01, container, tabula below article thumbnail -300x250, placement, below article thumbnail -300x250, target. Type, mix.